Hi friends, it's Joe. It's around 5:10 in the morning in Japan. It's about 70 degrees and it sounds like it's starting to rain a little bit more. It's damp out. Today is day 8 of our program, week 2, and we will be doing a 1.5 mile walk with good form, and we'll be doing this in Todoroki Ravine. So let's get going. Let me pop you all on my head. Oh man, y'all smell so bad. So last time we did a workout, I think it was the fart lick on Saturday. Saturday? Was it Saturday? No, it was Friday. Yeah. I did a fart lick on Friday, which was the run walk. It was raining, and I, excuse me, starting workout. And when I go for runs and it's raining, I throw the GoPro in like a little Ziploc bag. Oh my gosh, OG-san's out there cleaning down there today. What? But I throw my GoPro in a Ziploc bag, and it has like a cloth, stretchy band, elastic kind of deal. It smells so bad. Like I forgot it over the weekend. So it sat for 3 days wet in a bag. Disgusting. So I can smell you. By you, I mean my GoPro. It's terrible. So, as we've talked about in the past, when we're walking, you want to tuck your tailbone a little bit, suck in your core and your back, have a little bit of a forward lean, ever so gradual. Whew. I'm already feeling it a little bit. And naturally, you can do your runner's warm up. You can go for a little bike ride before you start. There's lots of options to get your body moving. But today will be a nice, mellow 1.5 mile walk, which for some of you is the farthest you may have gone. It's amazing like how sedentary we can become over time. Sorry, I keep adjusting you. I'm also very phlegmy today, so you'll probably hear some coughing and some nasty sounds, because it's like, there you go, waking up my lungs, moving all the stuff around. Yeah, it's amazing how sedentary we can become. Like, humans used to be hunter-gatherers on the move. And now we sit at a computer and it slowly leeches away our will to live. It's funny, I spend so much time on a computer between work and being a content creator that like these moments are awesome. It makes me feel alive. I try to take that energy with me. But actually it's something I've been actively working on, is just getting off of screens as much as possible, but still figuring out like, well, when do I need to be on a screen in order to do my job and in order to do content. Like this past weekend, I had aspirations of editing. How many videos am I behind now? I think 16 videos behind, because there's the week 0 and there's the week 1, and yeah, we're in week 2, so that's about 14-ish videos that I haven't edited. So for me, like, each video I record without editing and posting gives me anxiety that something's wrong. Like, the audio's wrong, or the quality's terrible, or I'll lose one or forget one, or something gets deleted. And really, like, I have no control over that. But Saturday I was like, okay, we're gonna give the kids in the morning, we're gonna give them a movie marathon day. It's gonna be all the Toy Stories or something, and then I'm gonna sit and grind out some edits as quick as possible, because each workout's like an hour. So for me, it's a little tricky to edit something that long in less time than the video is. Like, I could listen to myself and fast forward like a chipmunk, but it's pretty hard. So 16 videos is 16 hours or more, right? Unless I'm pretty disciplined about it. And maybe someday I'll have an editor, but right now it's me. But anyway, all these aspirations. I'm gonna sit down. This is what my day is gonna look like. I did my workout on Saturday, which was the Moose Lift 1C. It's terrible. And it's making breakfast. I just kind of started looking at my house, and my wife has lost her wallet. So I was thinking maybe the wallet's in the couch. We have a love sack sectional couch. Link in the description below. No, I'm just kidding. There's no affiliate link in there. Maybe there will be, who knows. If I think it's funny, I'll put it in. But I bought it at Costco. It's the best couch on the planet. So I start taking it apart, and like the way this thing fits together, it's super aesthetic. For me, it's satisfying because I'm an engineer and I just like appreciate how well designed this silly couch is. But anyway, talking about screens, right? Like, I had this idea that after being on my laptop all week for work and recording these videos, because I'm still like interacting with the laptop, that Saturday I was gonna go and hit it and be on it again. And instead, my brain was like, what if you use your hands all day to deep clean under every piece of furniture in your living room and completely dismantle your couch and vacuum all the pieces of it and reorganize that and all the toys? And that became my day. So sometimes, like, we think we can keep pushing, and our brain's like, what if you just don't do that? Just let it be. Maybe trust that you can do that later. I should make that into a t-shirt. I mean, I've seen it before as a meme, but like, just do it later. Now, you can't bring that mindset into everything with life, but it is helpful. By the way, friends, you're doing pretty well. I think we're at about, I don't know, maybe a third of a mile. I can check for you if it helps. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, 0.32 miles. Nice. And I'm walking at a brisk pace that works for me, so I can walk a mile in about 15, 18 minutes, maybe more like 18. But this is still foundation, right? We're in the first block. First block's 4 weeks. We're not doing a lot of running besides the fartleks. We're going light. Here's some moss for you. So we're just starting to stretch distance and get comfortable being out on our legs. And you may have found that first week was super tough if this isn't part of your active lifestyle yet. So you're kind of faced with a choice. Like, you could totally repeat week 1, like just go a mile today, redo week 1, keep building that foundation, keep modifying and get to week 2. But it's okay if it's hard. It's okay if you didn't get 100% completion on every lift. It's definitely okay if you didn't do as many reps or lift as heavy as me, because I've done this program with Moose for like 160 days. So I don't know, I would keep kind of incrementally waddling forward. It's up to you. It's kind of like Final Fantasy for any of you RPG nerds out there. Like, Final Fantasy is a great game. It's turn-based, although it's evolved in the latest years. I haven't played the new ones, but I grew up on I think Final Fantasy 9. This will be nostalgic for some, and others are like, why are we talking about this? But Final Fantasy 9, I think that's the one with Garnet and like Vivi and Zayden or something, the dude with the double sword Darth Maul style fighting. I don't know. Had it on PlayStation 1. It came with 4 discs. For you young folks out there that have never played a video game on a disc, they were these CDs that you could record data on and put them in a machine, and it would use like a little laser to read the electrons on the disc, or actually it wouldn't read the electrons, it would read the surface. They were etched, and then it would be able to kind of read that as data. Actually, were they? Was it electron based? Shoot, I should know this as an engineer. I know records were based on texture because there's a groove that the needle's reading, but I'm not sure with CDs and DVDs. I mean, I know they could pack progressively more data on it. How did those work? This is gonna bug me. Anyway, story time. As I continue to distract you from the fact that you're actively walking 1.5 miles with me. It'll be fun when we're running because I won't be able to tell stories as easily. But I was playing Final Fantasy. Okay, we're talking about leveling up. We're talking about repeating a week. Okay, here you go. I found it. Found the story. So, Final Fantasy is turn-based. Every time you do a battle, your characters get experience or XP. It was the first time for me as a kid playing a game with XP. Like, I grew up on Crash Bandicoot where there's no XP. You just get your crystals and your gems and you move on. And I was like, what does this mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, if I keep fighting these little monsters, like I get more and more XP, and then I learn new abilities that make me stronger. And like I can make progress. And then if I get stronger, it makes it easier for me to beat the next creatures. And then what happens, and this is where ego comes in, is you start to feel the tension of wanting to progress the story as fast as you can to finish it. That tension with staying in the area you're in, staying in the valley, and just training and grinding, I think is what we called it back then. I don't know what they call it now. Like grinding through the same enemies so that by the time you get to the boss in the next area, you've actually built up enough strength to beat it. Otherwise, you like burn through all your items and you still might game over, and then you get stuck in the ice caverns fighting the like level 7 mage or whatever the heck it was. Vivi's older cousin. Which happened to me where I was like, this boss is impossible. How can I beat this thing? I'm so weak. And you realize like, oh, you should have went back and trained. You should have found one of your little mogui little mail carrying monster things where you could like get free health and like drift and fight and go back and get free health and drift and fight and get free health, so you don't have to use their potions. Like there's all these little hacks that you can do once you get a little better. I don't know. So in the same way, as you are getting to know your own body and getting to know this program, I invite you to navigate the tension of pressing forward onto the next week, onto the next challenge, or recognizing that you might need a little bit more time at a level. Because some of you are ready to sign up for your half marathon right now. You're like, for you psychologically, it's like, let's fully commit to the experience. Get the half marathon. I'm going to work towards it in 16 weeks, for better or worse. Boom. More power to you if that's what you're going to do. But I think a lot of people are coming in with some level of insecurity, some level of uncertainty based on current weight, being injury prone, being injured is another one. We're at 0.6 miles, so the turnaround is soonish. I think we'll get to go up and over the steps so you can see the river. And this river is what we're going to run along for months. But some of you who aren't ready to register for a half marathon today based on starting a program are going to have to learn what your body's capable of and when you can push, but also when you need to kind of stay at a level and drop down a level and modify. And that's going to drift week by week because you're building new capability, so it's difficult. Sometimes the ways that the lifts and the running stacks, you might feel stronger every day. Sometimes the way it all stacks, you might be exhausted. Like on Tuesday when you do a lift, and it's 10 to 15 push-ups, you'll be like in the right mindset. You'll be clear from distraction. You'll feel strong coming off that long run, and you'll just bang out 15 full depth and feel incredible. Moose Lift C hits you, and you've lifted, that's your third time that week lifting. You've had some recovery in the middle, but maybe your chest isn't there, and you're like, this is so hard, I can't get full depth, and I only got 8 push-ups, I suck. No, you don't suck. You've just been training, and it's hard, and your body responds to each exercise a little bit differently. Here comes the lookout, friends. Here's the view. This is why I train here, because it's nice. Not the car. Ooh, that's a fast one. Crap. There's a lot of sports cars out this way. This morning I saw I don't know how to say this word. I saw like a Barth, some kind of like small compact Italian sports car. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I don't know how people live like this, but more power to you. Maybe I'll figure that out someday. Whew. Oh, let's see, where are we at on distance? 0.75. It's a good turnaround. I'm gonna stretch it a little over halfway, just so that I can chill on my reflection spot, give you guys a little bit of meditation at the end. I'm gonna walk us out to the river just because it's nice. Normally we go down that trail, but because we're at halfway, I'll give you a nice lookout for a minute as I step through squishy grass. Ugh. This used to be like a spot I would look out and hang. It was super scenic, and then they started building this overpass thing, and they like just crushed all the nature. There's these awesome stones down there, and like fish would come out, and it was all overgrown and beautiful, and it'll get beautiful again. Ooh, heck up. Ew. I take a pre-workout in the morning. That hiccup was not nice. That's new. Normally there's not the we're gonna take a gander here and enjoy this view for a minute. Normally there's not water coming across like that. The river is pretty high, so you can normally just walk along it, and it's like a peninsula. My English degrades the longer I live in Japan. That's super fun. Yeah, and wow, a lot of those stones are covered too. Normally those are a little bit more above water. Let's go climb some stones for a little bit. I don't think I'll be able to hop out to that because I don't want to get all muddy, but we can go enjoy a moment. Now you can, if you're trying to like, if you're in get it done mode, just keep walking, right? You're tracking your distance on your own phone. I'm out here exploring for a minute because I don't get a lot of outside nature living in central Tokyo and working from my basement. So this is a moment I'm taking for me because I like it. Ooh, that'll be slick. By the way, this is normal in Japan. I've seen a lot of people do this, in case you're wondering if this is sketch. I mean, I'm still concerned. I've seen people walk down it going straight. It's just underwater too much. Right? There's water running over the top of that stone. I want to step out to it, but I don't want wet socks. We've done this whole thing without wet socks. We'll enjoy this view for a minute. My body's warmed up. If you come at the right time, like around sunrise, you'll actually see fish trying to swim up this thing upstream, which is super cool because they like get caught through the rocks and hop over the rocks, and they're like big somethings. I don't know what kind of fish grows in Japan. My dad might know. Yeah, that one's too far of a jump to not die. Cool. I'll give you a quiet moment. Feel free to reflect as you keep plunking along in your workout. Cool. Well, do we want to work back up the river? Let's climb up this thing. I like that texture over there. That might be easier to walk down. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It definitely looks different than those ones. It's interesting. Still don't know if they're gonna make it steps. Why didn't they just make it steps instead of those little catcher things? But I don't know. I'm not a Japanese architect. All right, let's twist our body without rolling our ankle and dying. Ascend the hill. And let's waddle our way back. Excellent, friends. It was pretty cool, wasn't it, when like all the cars stopped for a minute? I wake up at 4:30 in order to be able to get out here to start the workouts around 5:10. Most Japanese start their days later than in the US. They do go harder and later though, so they definitely make up for lost time. But like most of my colleagues get into work around 9-ish, which sporadically happens in the US too, but like 8 a.m. is not considered a working hour in many establishments. So if I wake up at 4:30 and get out here by 5 and go till 6, activity or people, it's very limited. Words falling apart on the words there. So for me, it helps clear my head. If I go out and do this run or this walk at 8 in the morning, for instance, like, it's different. There's a lot more cars, there's a lot more people, there's a lot more noise and distractions, so it's a lot harder for me to think and process. And what I'm really trying to do is like seek silence, which I rob you of because I talk to you, but some people need a running buddy. You could always mute me and just watch, right? Nice. I think at the base of these stairs, I'm gonna do a couple deadlift to squats, maybe 3 of them, just to kind of get my form back a little bit. I'm so sore from last week. I lifted pretty hard, and at physical therapy I did some bonus squatty things that I did not like. The hard part's finding level ground. Everything's slopey in Japan because of water. Maybe up ahead there we'll do some. But I just want to make sure I'm moving forward with good form, so I'm going to recalibrate. Heck, I could pull you off my head. We could do it together. Here, come over here. This is someone's house, so hopefully they don't walk out. So, I mean, we've done these during the warm-up, so it shouldn't be too new. Do a couple of these. A couple squats. Moves and grounds. Moves and grounds. So it's a little bit challenging, but just like normal, we're trying to find the walnut, squeeze the walnut. It's gonna be a shirt. I just have to figure out how to draw it in a way that's like both flattering and appropriate, because it's got to be between the cheeks, but it has to be like Despicable Me minion butt cheek kind of like vibe, so it's not inappropriate. And I do a lot of line work for my t-shirts, so like I don't know how to do that, but that's what we're learning how to do with a lot of these hip hinge deadlift kind of movements. Is it when you learn how to engage the glutes and squeeze it, you're supporting your sacrum better, and then that allows you to run tilted with good form. So anyway, let me pop you on my head. Ugh. Gosh, this thing smells so bad. You need to take a shower, friends. It's disgusting. Absolutely the worst. Anyone else a little winded? I'm a little winded. It's been a good workout. We got some rain. Rain's great. It's gonna get hot in this program. Well, not for you if you're going into winter, but who would train up for a winter half marathon right off the bat? That sounds miserable. Go ahead and comment if that's what you're doing. Kudos to you. That's incredible. That sounds awful. Yeah, if you have a half marathon in mind, let me know. Just because I'm curious where everybody's from and where they're running. I think I'm gonna make it. I say all these I thinks because I haven't found the time to do the things I want to do, and I don't know when these videos get posted in comparison to when I actually create tools and features for y'all. But breathing. Here we go. I think I'm gonna make a like community map, and I haven't thought about the questions I want to ask on it yet, but a way for people doing the DadBod journey to know themselves or kind of share from their own context and be able to connect with other members on the journey. Not necessarily to connect to actually do the runs and do the program. I mean, maybe someday it gets enough traction that that's possible, where like 12 people in Houston make a DadBod group. That would be wild. I can't even imagine what that looks like. That would be huge. But initially, just so you could see like, oh, there's someone in Finland doing this. That's so cool. And they're 32 years old and they weigh 285 pounds. And they're still going out there and doing the best they can. And their aspiration is that they can keep running around with their 5-year-old toddler, right? Like, everybody has a why for this program. And I think it's helpful for other people to see that why and to encourage you. So I think making a community around fitness is fun. It'd probably get hosted on Discord just because that's what people know, at least in the Twitch streaming community. I have thought a couple times about turning this into an app so that you can just like click on the workout, the YouTube video pre-rolls. You can track your stuff right in the app. And then from exercise to exercise, you can see progress. Because one of the challenges is, for me, is if I give you an Excel sheet to take notes, where you can see every time you do push-ups, the increase. Not every workout has push-ups at the same time. So like, it's not easy to see what you're doing and take notes and in comparison to increase, unless you're looking across a sheet over and over again. Although I really want you to be able to see that you did 10 push-ups and then you did 15 across multiple workouts. So an app's great, because that's what I use with MooseABoot, where you can actually see, or like every time an exercise hits, I can see prior reps and build on it. So these are all the things I think of, right? Phase one is like for me to actually do all 16 weeks of the workouts, both the runs and the lifts, record them, edit them, and post them. But it's a lot of the support tools of community, being able to track progress, mindset shift through some kind of podcast, which I haven't figured out yet. These are things I'm really interested in doing in parallel, so that you have all the tools you need for health and wellness in this platform. I think it's an interesting niche because, I don't know, 98% of what I see on YouTube Shorts and Instagram and all that is like people that have reached endpoint of making it. They're just absolutely cut. They have a full understanding of food and how it affects their body, and you know, they're pushing towards an aesthetic that is attainable to a very small proportion of people in the world, and that's where they influence from. And they don't do it out of malice. They're a beautiful example of discipline. But I think there's such a huge gap between that and your average bod, you know, your mom bod after child 2, struggling to take care of all the children in her world, the demands of if she's working a job too, and where's the slice for her to self-care and exercise and find a new level of normalcy. Now, I've never been a woman, so I don't know a lot of those unique struggles. I've been with my wife for 15 years, so I have an idea, but I've never experienced it, which is why there's no mom bod program, right? But dad bod's my context. That's my come from a health and fitness perspective, and something I find more contentment with. Like, I've always had a gut, and there are things I could do to prune it in, but for me, like, I like a level of athleticism, that sumo strength. I was a lineman for football, so when I'm doing these exercises, the progress I'm looking forward is, can I lift more? Can I get a deeper range of motion in squats and lunges? Am I making progress? Those areas. If I'm looking for an aesthetic thing, it's typically in my legs. Like, I can see shift in progress in my calves, in my thighs, just because of how much I run and lift. But then when I turn on the camera and it's facing me, I'm hit with immediate insecurity when I lift my arms up in the air. So last week we did like curl presses, and it was unavoidable. I actually started that workout wearing a DadBod shirt, but unfortunately they're cut a little low, or a little high, cut high. And I was like immediately seeing on camera, I was like, I can't, the brand is DadBod and I still am insecure with my own bod. So I changed shirts and I went back out and I did the workout, you know, because I still want to be there and be present for you and be real. But I also have to make sure it's something that I can withstand and do for the long haul, and that means I also need modifications. And like, I'm fine looking in the mirror at myself. It's when I film myself and share it that I run into some of those aesthetic challenges. All right, we're also, by the way, we're at 1.35 miles. I know we took a detour. If you're done, you could just hang out and listen. You can chill with us. You can go scroll around in the comments a little bit and encourage people, or share your story if you're the first one. Or you can totally kill this workout video and just go do something fun. But yeah, so it's something I'm working through, like the DadBod brand, demotivational fitness for everybody. It's meant to be an encouragement to you, but also to me in our journey. Because no matter how hard I work and train, and this is a mindset some people would argue with, like, I am probably not gonna see a shift in my body when I do a curl press, where I'm on camera and I just feel great about it. Maybe someday I will get food to that level of discipline. My training will keep increasing, right? I'll be running marathons instead of half marathons. And maybe, yes, that comes, but that's like 6 months, multiple years out. It's too far of a goal for me to be measuring progress with. We have to do something sooner. At least that's my opinion. So find what works for you. We're gonna pass OGs on, so I'm gonna get quiet for a minute to be respectful. Wow, gozaimasu. Oji-san daisuki. We love Grandpa. Always taking care of the forest trail. Maybe someday I can actually talk to him and thank him for what he does and understand why he does it. It's a really interesting cultural nuance in Japan. For instance, like at critical times for kids to go to school, all the grandparents, it seems like, are out as crossing guards. They all show up, they all leave. It's really neat. Like, also this trail at like 11 o'clock a.m. lights up. Like, every old folk you can imagine is just trail walking. I tried to come out here and run with a GoPro in my head. I was like, nope, never doing that again. Like, because I try to be super sensitive with content. Not everybody wants to be on YouTube. Not everybody wants to be known. So that's why I shift things to the morning. I mean, I'm gonna pass a couple runners or a couple people, but I just try to have a sensitivity, and I'm not good at editing enough to do any kind of like automated facial blurring or stuff like that. I think we're close. I mean, I know I'm gonna finish it out, but let's see where we're at. 1.51, y'all, you did it. I'm gonna keep walking as I close out, but you all are amazing. Keep pressing on in your journey. I'm proud of you. Tomorrow we got day 9. Yeah, day 9 Moose Lift 1A again. So you've done this workout, Moose Stretch 1A as well. And with the stretches, I don't know how well I did on the editing of them. So I anticipate running around with my kids. There's gaps. So as you start to become comfortable with the movements and the individual exercises, like, feel free to just do them once you learn form on your own quicker. Does that make sense? Like, you don't always have to step into that same workout with me. You can if it's helpful. There's still roll and release workouts by other people that I do just because I'm familiar with it, even though I could roll it myself. So do what works for you. I just don't want you to feel like, if that's not fast enough to get through it and you have a busy day, that you don't have the freedom to kind of step off and do it your own way. But I shouldn't diminish what I've made. I just know that there's a lot going on in my life and in yours, and these workouts aren't going to be quick. They'll be faster if you do them solo, but you're gonna lose the presence. You're gonna lose my lovely voice. So anyway, friends, keep changing the world. Have fun out there. This is a really dangerous spot for me to try to talk to you. Ooh, there's a lens glare. Ooh, it's foggy on the inside. Oh, it's probably a terrible video. All right, see you around, friends.